Dude, can we get Jeopardy category as a listener question?
I know, seriously.
Like, can we make this an ongoing thing? And like you can get the theme music going for it and like
Ooh, yeah. See, I mean, like I did it with my voice, but I would totally like
the
have a
Daily
button to do the
Double.
data double sound. Welcome to My God a Podcast. I'm Jim Wood. In this episode, John Powell and I preview Georgia's matchup with Auburn, under the lights, on the plains. We talk through what we're looking for in the game, and we answer questions from you, our listeners. As always, remember to check out the newly redesigned mygodapodcast.com to see our latest merch. And you can follow us on social media at mygodapodcast. Finally, if you need help with your website or your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs. Now, let's join the conversation in progress. Hey, John,
Hey Jim.
do you like trucks?
Yeah, Pizzle. Let's go early.
Uh,
What we do? I like driving in my truck. He likes to drive in his truck. Auburn sucks. Auburn sucks. I like driving in my truck. He likes to drive in his truck. Auburn sucks. Auburn sucks. I like trucks. He likes trucks. I don't care for Auburn. He doesn't care for Auburn. Hoes.
A tradition like no other.
I love it. I love it. Squidbillies
Squidbillies.
forever ingrained into the Georgia mindset.
If you haven't,
The immortal words of T-Pain.
oh my gosh. And if you haven't seen it, be sure to be following Bulldog Bourbon Social Club. Uh, John put out a nice video. It was like Gunner in his truck from the Onward Reserve ad with that music over it. It was fantastic. So be sure to check that. I think you tweeted that video out too. So
I did. It was it's always it's always a classic audio, so it's nice to have a quarterback or someone on the team that can actually drive their truck and mean it.
it was perfect. I'm actually wearing my Gunner Stockton driving his truck T-shirt for the
Ooh,
occasion tonight. So
is that the Honor Reserve signature shirt?
it is. It is. Yes. Mine is not signed. Mine is not signed. But Lily's is because she likes to get her shirts signed by Georgia quarterbacks apparently. But I got I got
She
the
does.
I got the print signed. So
I love it. Not a sponsor yet.
yet. Awesome. Well,
So we got the War Tiger Eagle Plains people
yep. All the mascots.
coming to town.
All the mascots with these guys, and reminder that this is a rivalry by the My God a Podcast definition. If nothing else, it has a name. So that's one of the criteria. So right there, check that box. Deep South's oldest rivalry, officially a rivalry game.
Love
Wrong
it.
time of year though. Wrong time of year, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, I think it's totally valid, especially in the new college football world. We might as well just go ahead and get off my lawn moment with you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it wouldn't really be a My God a Podcast Auburn preview unless I complained about the game not being in November. So
Yes,
there it is. I've
accurate.
complained.
I'm sure John Michael D is like looking at the little stitches.
Box checked. Jim complained about the time of year.
Yes, exactly.
Too good. Well, you want to get
We
into
play
that?
these guys every year, so I don't have any fun facts. Also, just life in general getting in the way. But if you don't know about Auburn, then you probably are new to this. Otherwise, you're well ingrained into the hatred of the War Tiger Plains people.
Yes. Yes. Totally. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's do the rundown.
And you, dear listener, probably have friends that used Auburn as the backup school when they were going to college. So, especially in 2025 when kids can't get into Georgia, which
Oof. Yeah. Not easy. Not easy.
There's there's a lot of folks that are going to Auburn that probably would have gotten into Georgia ahead of me
Back
back in the day.
back in our days.
Yeah, yeah. From what I understand, it's actually kind of hard to get into Auburn now from the feedback that I'm getting from the parents. Because
Yeah, I mean,
when I was in college, it was like, I mean, it was like you showed up and they gave you money.
yeah, I think a lot of the SEC schools are getting harder. So, um, when you get all that money
Uh,
coming in from the TV, that stuff starts to happen. So,
Judging by the amount of mail that I get, Mississippi State and Ole Miss are quite desperate for people from our area to come to their school.
okay, okay, noted, noted. All right. Well, hey, if you're listening, be sure to follow us on social media. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok at My God a Podcast. And always remember to head over to homefield.mygodapodcast.com to get your latest gear from Homefield Apparel. And you can use promo code HungerDown to get 15% off your first order from Homefield Apparel. Um, JP, we can let's run through the matchup and then we'll get into all the things. So
Let's do
game
it.
uh game kicks off Saturday at 7:30 p.m. at Jordan Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. Ugh,
Jordan here.
that actually that's in the listener questions.
Yeah,
That will be discussed.
yeah,
um Dogs come into this one 4-1, 2-1 in the SEC. Auburn 3-2, 0-2 in the SEC. Dogs are ranked number 9 and 10 in the respective polls. Auburn is unranked. The game will be on ABC with the crew of Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, and Molly McGrath. Interesting, John. I did note the Sirius XM station apparently does change from week to week. This week, it will either be on 132 or 192. Who knew?
yeah.
Um, and the official hashtag
Just guess.
just yeah, I love that there's like two possibilities. And then the official hashtag that we will forget to use is hashtag UGA versus AUB. Um, and the all-time series record, Georgia leads this record series 65, 56, and 8, with the last meeting being a 31-13 win in Athens by the Dogs last year on October 5th. Um,
Tell tell them about the recent history in this game, Mr. Jim.
the recent history in this game. It's been all Dogs.
Yes. If you go and look at that, it's like you know that we've only lost a handful of times.
Yeah, I mean, it really is wild, especially like at home. Um, you know, the way I like to say it is my oldest daughter, Ella, is a sophomore in college. She was not born the last time Auburn beat Georgia at Georgia, which is insane. Um, so yeah, it's that they were leading the series and the series was like super close and we've pulled away a bit of late. It's been pretty impressive.
They
If
they
you're
have exactly 3 wins since 2010.
okay, yeah. So what, 17, 13,
We lost 2010. We lost 13 and
13 and
17.
17. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Sounds right. Sounds right. Um, let's see if you're heading down there. Looks like pretty good weather. It'll be like high of 78 during the day. With it being an evening kickoff at 7:30, the temperature is gonna dip down a bit. I think it should be like in the 60s during the game. So I don't know. Maybe bring a light jacket or something. I don't know if you're in the upper deck. There may be swirling winds, so just keep an eye out for that. Dress accordingly. All right, let's
The
do.
swirling winds.
You never know. You never know with a night game.
There's always something funky going on and at Jordan Hare Stadium.
I haven't been there myself since the night the Hilltop Grill opened in Athens. Um, but enjoyed going there when I did go in college, and I will say the whole like when the eagle flies down to the field is pretty cool. Like, so I would suggest getting there in time to see that. Assuming they still do it, I believe they do. All right, you want to hit Hasty's Hard History?
Let's hit it, Jim.
All right. Hasties Harvard History Auburn edition. So Jason writes in and tells us that earlier this year, Auburn's athletic department announced that it was officially claiming 4 national championships in football. These are in addition to the 2 titles they've won on the field, 1957 and 2010, and the 3 other seasons, 1913, 1983, and 1993, for which they claim national championships. With these 4 additional seasons, 1910, 1914, 1958, and 2004, Auburn now styles itself as a 9-time national championship winning school. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. When one day you have 4 more national championships than the day before, like that's, I don't know, red flag for me personally. But okay. It isn't unusual for schools to inflate their resumes by claiming national championships, whether those claims have merit or not. Georgia has historically been very cautious about claiming championships. We claim 1 unanimous title, 1980, 1 shared title, 1942, and 2 playoff titles, 2021, 2022. There are several seasons where we have championship claim that we don't officially acknowledge. Why don't we claim these additional years? The first year we could claim is 1920. That year, the Bulldogs, who started the season as the Wildcats, as will be explained in an upcoming installment of Hasties Harvard History. Ooh, foreshadowing. I love it. Were undefeated, and the only blemish on the year was a 0-0 tie with Virginia. Herman Stegman's team was named co-champion of the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Association, alongside Tech and Tulane, though both Tech and Tulane had losses outside of conference play. The 1920 Bulldogs were retroactively named national champions by the Berryman Quality Points Rating System, which is a historic college football ranking index. The Cal Golden Bears are recognized as the national champions of 1920. They played a weak schedule of military teams, semi-pro teams, and small colleges, though they did win the Rose Bowl. In 1927, the Dream and Wonder Bulldogs had won 9 straight games, including handing Yale its only loss of the season, heading into the rivalry game against Tech. With a berth on the Rose Bowl on the line, Tech defeated the Bulldogs 12-0 in Atlanta. Recognized national champion Illinois went 7-0-1. Georgia is recognized as national champion in 3 historical rankings polls: the Bowen system, the polling system, and the Berryman QPR system. Illinois was named champions in a mix of contemporary and historical polls. It's important to note that prior to the advent of the Associated Press poll in 1936, there was not a nationally recognized college football poll of record. All polls prior to 1936 were regional or else were put on by individuals such as Walter Camp. Because of this, any rankings issued during the era before the AP poll are dubious. Though the AP poll had issues, it provided a national standard for ranking teams. Easily the most controversial unclaimed title among our fans is 1946. Georgia in 1946 was likely the most dominant team in the country and had the country's most dynamic and versatile player, Charlie Trippi. The national press, however, had decided early in the season that the title would go to the winner of the Notre Dame Army game. That game, played in Yankee Stadium to accommodate the crowd, ended in a 0-0 tie. To resolve the issue, Notre Dame was awarded the national championship, and Army's Glenn Davis was given the Heisman. Georgia was ranked number 3 in the year-end AP poll, despite being the only beaten, untied team in the country. Georgia also won a bowl game, a 20-10 game against UNC in the Sugar Bowl. Neither Notre Dame nor Army played in a bowl. Georgia was ranked number 1 in only one poll, the Williamson poll, which was issued by a member of the Sugar Bowl committee. From the most controversial unclaimed championship to the least controversial, the 1968 Bulldogs were named national champions in the Lichtkenhouse poll, which used scoring differential to determine its rankings. The 68 Bulldogs had an 8-1-2 record, while Ohio State, who ended the season as number 1 in the AP poll, had a 10-0 record and beat both number 1 Purdue and number 2 USC. Now that we have looked at these 4 seasons, which championship could we reasonably claim? Obviously, 1968 is out. Only Alabama would claim that one. The 1946 season is difficult. We fielded arguably the best team in the nation and had the single best player, but at no point in the season were we discussed as a national championship contender. All the discussion focused on Notre Dame and Army. If we were ranked number 1 in any historical rankings, we could probably lay claim to a share of this title, but we haven't. The real shame of this season is that Trippi didn't get the Heisman he deserved. This leads us to the 2 1920 seasons. We could reasonably lay claim to both, though the shutout loss to Tech to end the 1927 season probably takes that out of the discussion. The 1920 season, then, is our best claim. One of 3 SIAA co-champions, we were the only team that was undefeated. Also, a tie in 1920 wasn't as damaging to a team's record as it would be later, especially when playing away from home. Football was also so regional at this time that having a single national champion was essentially impossible. In my humble opinion, let's lay claim to the 1920 season. Put up a flag in Sanford Stadium, make up a logo for t shirts and caps, and give Herman Stegman his due as a championship coach alongside Wally Butts, Vince Dooley, and Kirby Smart. Ah,
Mm,
fantastic.
I love it. If
I
you're
always,
watching on if you're
I go,
watching on the YouTubes, you'll
mm,
notice that there are some images which are pretty awesome. And I can neither confirm nor deny that Jim pulled this red and black picture out of his archive.
you never know. You never know. Mm. As always, reminder: you can always stop by the Hargrett Library. Jason gives tours for the fall exhibit Friday afternoons, so be sure to go by and check that out if you're ever in Athens on a Friday noon. And then, as always, thank you, Jason, for sending these in. They're always incredible. I always learn something. Um, this one's good though, because like I know it's been something that I've heard talked about a lot around kind of how we treat national championships and what we claim is very different than say some other schools. So
Right. Yeah. I don't know. What's your thought on it, Jim?
I mean, I kind of think we're doing it the right. I would say like the right way. Like I think it's odd when Alabama did the same thing at one point where they went and looked. It was like, oh, we should be claiming all these other like it's like a new. A lot of times it's like a new sports information director comes in and goes and looks through the archives. It's like, oh, like we should have claimed XYZ year or whatever. But it's like what Jason put in here, right? Like back in the day, people weren't really even really thinking about it. Like the goal wasn't the same back then as it is now. It's not like we're going to be national champions because the sport was so regional, you know? Like so it's kind of like a retroactive thing in general.
It's almost like the conference championships mean more.
Yeah. 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 I'm with you. I'm with you.
Dude, some of the faces of Charlie Trippy and
Yeah.
is that Charlie Trippy in the Superman logo or the Superman kind of get up?
I'm not sure who it was.
I don't know. Some of the facial expressions are just kind of funny to me. And if you despise the uniform talk, uh, avert your eyes to the quote
Mm,
unquote traditional uniforms that were existent back then, uh, many of
with
which were black.
with the black jersey. Yeah. Yeah. The original
Yeah,
jersey was black. It was a black
yeah,
jersey.
guys.
uh,
I don't want miss me with the stay traditional. It's red. No, sir. False.
so good. Uh, which on that note, man, Hunter stirred up the uniform Twitter this week with his "we should wear black helmets" tweet. Whew.
Hunter, I expect reparations for the damage that's been done to me on this tweet.
I'm gonna admit, like I think halfway through the day, I had to mute the tweet. There were so many notifications going.
Oh
It
yeah. I
was
mean,
going crazy. Sorry, Hunter.
as soon as the first Alabama person jumped in, and Hunter, bless his heart, he tried to defend himself for a little bit, and it was just like it's like that Jon Snow meme where he's like pulling the
Yeah,
sword out and the oncoming horde.
right, right. Uh, too good. Um, all right,
Yeah.
let's see. Let's hit the news and notes. So from Kirby's press conference, he did get into a bit around, got asked about some injuries. He said Ernest Green the third is working out with us this week and trying to recover, and we'll see where he's at today. This is on Monday. Then he said, and then Monroe Freeling has an ankle, but it's probably not as severe as we thought. He's not having any kind of surgery or anything, and we're hopeful to get him back this week. So Monroe Freeling, hopeful kiss of death. So that's not looking good. He said we'll have to wait and see, etc. Since we're recording Wednesday night, the initial injury report is out, and those two guys, Monroe Freeling and Ernest Green III, are both listed as questionable. Um, so I don't know. I would say not super promising, at least for Freeling. Something that happened after we recorded last week was the Taylor injury, and I don't. Can't remember. I don't even know if we talked about that, but he's still out. So um,
Hmm.
surgery, I believe, from what Graham had reported.
Get well
Um,
soon, kid.
yeah. So news and notes from the Auburn side. Uh, Nothing from like Hugh Freeze's press conference or anything, but wanted to call some stuff out about on this game. So one thing, this is Auburn's SEC home opener. So they have both of they're 0-2 in the SEC, but both of those games were on the road. So at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M. So SEC home opener. Um, they are also coming off a bye week. So they had a bye last week. And I don't know if you knew this, John. They're retiring Cam Newton's jersey at this game.
Okay.
Uh, so expect all the pomp and circumstance for this game. There's going to be a lot going on, and it sounds like they have some extra things planned. So Paris Buchanan, he is the senior associate AD of fan experience and creative strategy at Auburn. I think Peter Burns was talking about kind of what they did like for their, I think it was like their Ball State game and how great that was at night, and just saying like it's going to be crazy when Georgia comes. And he quote tweeted that last month and said, we may have a few things planned for that one." So, uh, if you're there, you have to report back to us and let us know what all's going on there. It sounds like they've got some stuff up their sleeve for this game.
Mm. Okay. That'll be interesting because it definitely doesn't give me warm fuzzies knowing our back end.
Yeah, I know, I know. I don't know. I just the Cam Newton thing is interesting. I think that they chose the Georgia game to retire his jersey or retire his number, whatever.
Right.
All right, we can get into the game. Um, so let's see the kind of macro things. So net yards per play. Um, Georgia is up over 1 yard per play now, John. Georgia's at 1.05 net yards per play. Auburn is at 0.35. Um, Auburn is doing much better in the turnover department than Georgia. So Auburn is +4 in turnovers. Georgia is still -2 in turnovers. All right, so let's talk about the Georgia offense, the Auburn defense, kind of like what we're looking for when Georgia has the ball. Um, so some notable Auburn defenders to watch out for. So their leading tackler is Xavier Adkins. He's a sophomore linebacker, 29 total tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 interception. Um, he is also tied for the lead in interceptions with the 1 interception. Um, and then he's tied with their sack leader, Kieran Crawford. He's a senior defensive end. He's got 4 sacks, 20 total tackles, and a pick. One other guy to watch out for is Keldrick Falk. So he's a junior defensive end. He also has 2 sacks on the season. He's the guy that everyone was saying is like the top pro prospect on the Auburn defense. And I would say, John, like if you look at just like the numbers and everything, the Georgia offense and the Auburn defense actually look fairly evenly matched in the stats. So, no, what are you looking for when Georgia's got the ball?
Man, just that offensive line. I'm looking for them to finish drives. Ironically, we've got one of the higher red zone efficiency scoring, which is surprising. But I think that one of the things that I'll be looking for is to just make sure that the offensive line stays consistent. Um, that's going to be the key to this game. I mean, I'm riding that into the ground for the rest of the season is that our live and die is going to live in the trenches. And that is you know, that is an old adage is particularly in the SEC is that the games are won and lost in the trenches, but that is 100% accurate on the UGA side of things. If the offensive line can't protect Gunner, then we're in trouble.
Yeah,
And frankly create holes for the running backs.
yeah, I'm with you. Their defense has been able to. to get after the passer. They've had a pretty decent pass rush. So yeah, um definitely gonna have to pass protect, give Gunner some time. Um I am glad that Jordan Hare is not his first road start, that he's already gone on the road and played at Neyland Stadium, so at least he's got that under his belt. Um so I think that's good. I think that's helpful. Um for Gunner. I guess the only thing I'll add is I like that what I kept joking about in the Kentucky review, like where have these plays been? Like I want to see us play loose. Like this team seems to play better when we play loose. I feel like we played tight when we had against Alabama at home. So if we can play loose, maybe it's that taking that deep shot early in the game like we did against Tennessee, something like that. That's what I'll be watching for. And then, hey, can the unofficial official maintain the momentum that was created last week in Dillon
Heck
Hill?
yeah, dude. Heck yeah, dude. Um, I think that protecting the ball on the offensive side of things is going to be an important component as well. If we can win that turnover battle, which I know that that's on the defense as well, but
Yeah,
the offense needs to not shoot itself in the foot 100%.
yeah, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and then fast start. They said the team put a big emphasis on that for the Kentucky game, and we saw how that panned out. Getting that fast start allows you to, you know, it gives you a much wider margin for error.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Again, I think that's on both sides of the ball. Score like I don't want to fall into a 14-point hole to these guys. And they haven't been scoring like crazy. Like this is not a high. I think this is a good team. They're not like a as high powered of an offense as say Tennessee or Alabama have been, but I think like as a team, this is a good team. They've been playing pretty well. They're only like I said, their two losses were road games in the SEC. Um, that were frankly pretty close. A 7-point loss at Oklahoma, where Oklahoma had that play that like should have been called back, um, and then only a 16-10 loss um, at number 9 A&M 2 weeks ago. So they're pretty good. All
Yeah,
right, you want to talk about the defense, or did you have anything else
let's
there?
let's do it.
Okay, so for Auburn, um, kind of some notable folks for them. So Jackson Arnold is their quarterback. He's a junior. He's 87 of 134 for 846 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks. So no interceptions thus far in the year. He should be familiar to you. He's played, this is his third school, I believe. So I know he's played at Central Florida. Last year he was at Oklahoma, and now he's at Auburn. Their leading rusher is Jeremiah Cobb. He's got 403 yards on 58 carries and 4 touchdowns. Their second leading rusher is their quarterback, Jackson Arnold, 70 carries for 192 yards and 5 touchdowns. So he's got 5 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns. So true dual threat that we're going to have to watch out for. All right, so their receivers. They've got really good receivers. And the two you need to watch for are Eric Singleton Jr. He is a junior. He's got 27 catches, 265 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And JP, if that name sounds familiar to you, does Eric Singleton Jr. sound familiar to you?
I believe that he played for the Bumblebees in Atlanta, the
Correct.
North Avenue Trade School Bumblebees.
That is correct. Yep. So transfer from Tech in this year. And then super sophomore wide receiver Cam Coleman, who was a big 5-star recruit for them last year, 17 catches, 255 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Um, so what I guess I'll say statistically on paper, this actually looks like a better matchup. Like Georgia's defense stacks up, I would say, better with the Auburn offense than vice versa. Like our offense, their defense looks fairly equal. Our defense is actually ranked fairly significantly better than their offense in most categories.
Yeah, as far as what I'm looking for from the defense, I think that I mean, so they have one of the worst sacks allowed numbers.
Mm.
This is going to bode well. They are dead last in FPS on the number of sacks that they allow. They've allowed 21 sacks so far. Um, yeah. I think that allows us to get pressure, assuming that they haven't solved that, to kind of disrupt that rhythm that they've got going. I would say that the our red zone defense is actually really good. And so I
Mm.
think that getting them to, convert their, touchdowns to field goals, when we get in the red zone is really good. Um, Now the flip side of that is that Auburn is actually really good in the red zone. They're 14 for 14. So if we can hold in the red zone or hold them out of the red zone to, create long field goals and things like that, as we know, kicking field goals, yeah, the Georgia special teams is where field goal kickers go to die.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, like I said, I think that, like you said, the early start extends to the defense as well. Getting off the field on third down was an emphasis. They succeeded in that against a lesser opponent, and Auburn certainly is a lesser opponent. Um, I'll be looking out for Jackson Arnold's, his escape ability.
Yeah.
That's something that traditionally has not boded well for does not bode well for a Kirby Smart led team when we're facing a mobile quarterback. That said, his passing numbers are quite anemic, even worse than, if you're a Gunner hater, which I am not, and this podcast is not. But if you're a Gunner hater, his numbers are actually a lot worse than Gunner's. He's averaging 173 yards a game, I believe.
Mm.
Um, so the explosiveness is not going to necessarily be there if you know, their track record holds. Um, and I think that what we can expect from the Auburn offense is a deliberate game. I have a feeling it's going to be a low scoring affair, a lower
Mm.
scoring affair. And if you were a betting person, I believe that this is going to come down to, just clock management. They're going to grind out the clock. I hesitate to say, coin toss may dictate some of this.
Mm.
I have a feeling they're going to limit possessions because UGA has shown that we have the ability to be explosive. Um, and yeah, I think that that's kind of what we're I think that's kind of what we're looking for from the defense. There's an opportunity for them to get some sacks. The passing game is not as strong as other teams that we have played, which should be forgiving for what we've seen from the back end of our defense. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the thing that like I don't know, I guess concerns me or whatever, the pressure that they've been giving up and we've been struggling to get pressure. I want to not like we need to contain with Jackson Arnold. So like that's my one thing. It's like don't rush the quarterback at the to the detriment of like leaving your lane open, and giving him a wide open lane to take off and get downfield. So that's the thing where like I want to get pressure, want to have a good pass rush, but like a discipline pass rush. Um, not quite like Bo Nick's backyard football stuff going on from Jackson Arnold, but he can, he can run around, um, and get upfield. So I'll be watching that, and then, like I said, like they do have these good receivers. They don't have like crazy numbers, but they are good. So keeping an eye in our defensive backfield to make sure we can stay on top of those guys. But I mean, it's going to be the game plan that we always have, right? Like stop the run. Priority number one, stop the run, control the line of scrimmage, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, man, and so it's interesting with them. Uh, they are like you mentioned how many sacks they're giving up. Um, they've also had a lot. Like I know we already talked about the defense earlier, but like their defense has 16. What do you say? They've given up 25 on offense. Um, and then I think their defense has sacked their opponents 16 times. So I don't know. There's a lot on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 21
Okay. Okay.
from what I've
Okay.
seen.
Okay. Got a couple of special teams things. Um, did look through that a little bit. They do take their punting seriously, JP. Their punter. I'm gonna get out. I actually got out the Auburn pronunciation guide because I was not sure how to pronounce his name, and so I'm gonna let this young man pronounce his name.
Hudson Clark, Seymour, Australia, St. Mary's High School.
So, um, there you go. So Seymour, Australia, they take their punting very seriously at Auburn. And then there, so it's funny you mentioned, John, that field goal, the Georgia special teams is where field goal kickers go to die. So far this season, we have another perfect kicker coming into this game for Auburn. So Alex McPherson is their junior kicker. He's 4 for 4 on field goals and 18 for 18 on extra points. Can that continue against the Georgia special teams? We will find out Saturday night.
We will
Um,
find out.
I mean, I guess that's generally it. I mean, payday, 4 for 4 coming in, 21 on extra points. Brett Thorson's got that average up to 46.17 yards per punt. So, like what we've seen out of the Georgia special teams thus far.
Yeah, exactly. The special teams have been quite special.
I think
Uh,
it's only a matter of time before Zachariah Branch rips off a really long punt return, too, by the way. Just saying. Just saying.
you like to see that at some point.
For sure. All right. You want to hit the listener questions?
Yeah, let's hit them up. I know we got some good ones.
We do. We do. All right. So as we head into those, just want to take a moment to remind everyone that the listener questions are brought to you by Working Web Media. They helped us out building out our website. If you have a small business, you need help with your website or your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs and they will know that we sent you their way. I also have something I want to add. I have a bit of an announcement as we're going to roll into listener questions, and we always start with the building bonus TM TM TM. Working Web Media actually helped us in collaboration with Brett to come up with a new T-shirt to go into the My God a Podcast store. For those of you who are unaware, Brett was a redcoat at Georgia, um, and likes to have the discussion around uh, what's as opposed to who's, if you know what I mean. So act now. Head over to the mygodapodcast.com store at mygodapodcast.com/store and pick up your new What's t-shirt. Designed by Brett Belding, assisted by Working Web Media. Proceeds go to Bulldogs battling breast cancer.
Do we have the mock-up for the YouTubers?
I don't. I would have to. You know what? Hold on. I can do that. I can do that. But the only the way I'm gonna have to do that is put it over your face. So
That's fine.
you're gonna get blocked for a second if you're on the YouTube, and
Bye.
it will be there momentarily. Let's see here. Okay, so should be all right. So there it is. It's glorious.
In
What's
all its glory.
all its glory? Let me read. Get ready for game day with the What's T-shirt. What is this all about? Show everyone that you know, and if you know, you know. Grab your What's T-shirt. mygodapodcast.com/store. All right.
If you're curious, just ask Brett.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, so on to the building bonus from Brett Building. TM, TM, TM. What is your favorite win at haunted Jordan Hare Stadium? Does it have anything to do with bacon wrapped shrimp? I mean, I would say that is my favorite because I was there. Uh, and I've told the story in the podcast a million times, but I'll tell the quick version again. Kim and I were there, sitting in like the front row of the other end of the stadium in the end zone, and our picture ended up in the AJC the next day, and I was holding up a pom pom and it's blocking Kim's face, so I will never hear the end of the fact that I blocked her face from that. Also, the same game. She got on TV. I did not. She got on TV with Tim, with friend of the show Tim Riley. So Tim was like on TV, and then Kim like came like running into the camera frame. I saw that once on like a replay. It's pretty funny. So yeah, I would say that's probably top of my list.
That's awesome. I guess I would say like historical, like wasn't the hoses game?
Yes, the hoses game. And actually, here let's we've got I think 51-7 GATA had a similar question. We can kind of blend these together. So he said, trying to find it here. Sorry. Okay. He said this rivalry is full of odd endings, especially Jordan Hare, which is your favorite. So here we can give this as our list to pick from for Brett. Uh, 19, 1986 water hoses, 1992 stay down, 1994 tie game. A tie game equals a win. 1996 first SEC overtime game. 2002 put glasses on it. Any others? I mean, those are all of those were wild games.
I like to put glasses on it
Yeah,
as a personal favorite.
yeah.
I also like the victory with the was it Trey Battle flying through flying through the
Mm,
air for the touchdown.
that's a good one. And that one was weird because we killed them and they were like way higher ranked than us. That was '06.
I will never forget watching that game in Buckhead with one Cord Marlowe, shout out Cord. Um, uh, he had a friend that was like he went to Auburn and he was talking so much trash and we were going in there like super low spirits, so many low expectations, and then it just turned into the Trey Battle interception party, and I just remember absolutely losing my mind over
Mm,
it.
yeah, yeah.
You could not tell me a dang thing all night long.
It was awesome. Man, dude, I've got a memory like I think '86. I was 6 years old, so no major memories of that one. But like '92, remember my dad was at that game. He had gone like last minute with a neighbor who was an Auburn fan. When Ray Goff's like saying "stay down" to win the game,
Is that when
he's
he's
waving.
like
That's when he's waving like stay down." So great. The '94, the tie game, we were out in Toccoa for dinner with my family, watching it, like having a burger. Remember that? And then '96, the SEC OT game. That's Corey Allen, who we now tailgate with, by the way, which is still
Hmm.
so cool and crazy to me. But that one, like I was listening when he caught that pass, I was listening to Munson in the radio on the way to our grandparents' house. So pretty wild. So
And then
all those all have a place for me.
you've also got the 2017 game,
Well, and
the revenge game.
the revenge game in the dome. Yeah. Well, I guess the
Yeah.
Benz. The Benz. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cool.
Memories.
Memories. I don't care for Auburn. Um, Second question from Brett: do you think the voodoo works more for them or against them? And he said, hat tip to my wife at GM Building 17 for this one. Go Dogs.
I think the voodoo works for them,
I think it does too.
right?
I
Because I
think so.
mean, we got
I mean,
the prayer at Jordan Hare.
yeah. The fact that the kick six was like literally the next week after the prayer at Jordan here, that those two things happened in back to back weeks on that same field is still insane.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yep, I think it does. And that's where that I don't know, that's where the vibes thing with the Cam Newton thing and all this stuff going on Saturday. I don't like that voodoo. So dogs are gonna have to bring it Saturday night.
Yeah, let's wreck the Cam Newton party, the Scam Newton party.
For sure, 100%.
You know what? A good over-under coach would have been for like number of colors in Cam Newton's hat. He's gonna have some insane hat. I know. You just know it, and it's gonna have his dreads popping out. Like I don't know. He's gonna look like Sideshow Bob.
Dude, he's got all the fashion going. All the fashion. Um, let's go to Boss Dog at TJ Witten on Twitter. Which loss hurt the most? Parrot Jordan Hare or second and 26? Uh,
Second to 26, 100%.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Brad Jordan hair stunk when it happened, but that team wasn't going to a playoff or whatever at that point. So
Yeah, I mean,
agreed. Um,
second and 26.
so he said favorite Auburn games, which we already went through that, but he said and wildest stories about Auburn fan interactions, either in Sanford or Voodoo Field. And you know what? I gotta say, I don't think
I,
I really haven't really had crazy Auburn fan interactions, honestly.
yeah, I mean, I think that the Auburn fan base is fairly straightforward. I don't have too many. I mean, like I said, we spent a lot of time hanging out with Auburn students, because they would come back home from
Hmm.
Auburn.
Yeah,
And so like it's fairly close. It's fairly close by, particularly Metro Atlanta. So I like to think that they are a little bit kindred in terms of their temperament, kindred spirits. Um, their expectations and stupid war cries and stupid mascots are where things are where things like get a little bit sideways and they kind of slant towards the Texas A&M, like, is it a cult situation?
right, right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like my weirdest interactions have all been like with South Carolina fans. No offense, Chuck. Not you, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that the non-Chuck the non-Chuck South Carolina fans are a little.
Now,
I,
granted, it's when I was in college, so I'm not gonna say I
I
wasn't
had
partially to blame.
I've had worse interactions with Bama and Tennessee fans. I
Mm,
would also classify Florida as a close one there, but yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go to Kevin at JessBaggett29 on Twitter. Jeopardy category, rival rhythms, daily double. Do 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 do.
Ooh.
This song lyric written by a cephalopod, featuring a famous autotune rapper, discusses the thrilling piloting of a motor vehicle specialized in carrying freight, as well as the horrible nature of a university in Alabama. Hmm.
Auburn Soul.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing.
Amazing. I love dude, can we get Jeopardy category as a listener question?
I know, seriously. Yeah.
Like, can we make this an ongoing thing and like you can get the theme music going for it and like
Ooh, yeah. See, I mean, like I did it with my voice, but I would totally like
the
have a
daily
button to do the
double.
data double sound.
Hey, if they say it's a daily double, you got to do the trigger. If it's not, it's just a normal.
Well, that's true. That's true. Okay. Okay. Noted. I'm taking a note. Daily double sound. Reminder to do that later. Uh, fantastic. Let's see. Matt Key is up next. He said, "Great connecting with your dad, Jim." Which I think I introduced my dad to Matt last weekend at the Kentucky game. It was
Did
great.
they not meet at
They had not
Bama?
met. They hadn't met.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty funny.
But
I think at some point
two
Matt
two
was like, "You're a
amazing
Frip dog.
Americans.
You're a Frip dog," or something like that. Amazing.
That's
Uh,
amazing. This is
uh,
Frip Dog's son.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. So true. Let's see. He said, first, do you think that Gunner will make it through the season running the way he does at times, or do you think he will begin to slide?
I don't think he's gonna slide. I think he's just built that way. The side by side video or whatever, like the overlay of Stetson Bennett and
Mm,
and Gunner. I did notice that in those comparable runs, the Stetson Bennett run to the pylon against Tennessee,
hmm.
and then Gunner's run against Kentucky, they were so similar. But one thing that I did notice that was a stark contrast is like, dude, Gunner is a big dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like I hesitate to say like Tebow size, but like he's not as small as Stetson. So like I'm not as concerned. I mean, we saw him get his bell rung against Texas and basically just shrugged it off like it was a mosquito bite.
Dude, unbelievable ball security.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's built different. He's probably gotten knocked harder by his cows than he has some of these guys.
Yes. Yes. Um, I will say he did. He had one slide in the Kentucky game where he took off, but like he was about to get chased down. So we've seen it. He's got it in the bag if he needs it. But I'm with you. I feel like when he's trying to, if he's got to get like that 1 yard or whatever, he's putting his shoulder into a guy. That's just seems to be kind of like in his DNA.
Yeah, I could see him like I could see him doing it if he's in the open field, but like when he was like I think we saw it in the Kentucky game. I feel like I remember seeing him when he could have just stepped out of bounds, but he just lowered his shoulder and like tried to get a couple more yards.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Second one from Matt. You think our guys will be looking for special plays by Auburn to seize momentum with the night crowd? I'm not sure.
I
Like any
mean,
trick plays? You think any trick plays in the
like
bag?
trick plays by Auburn, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Particularly if things start going sideways for them.
Hmm. I hope it goes sideways for them. But
Yeah, who's the offensive coordinator here again?
I don't know. Is Hugh Freeze not the one? Like, I
It's
mean,
Hugh
it.
is it Hugh Freeze?
Well, I mean, he's the coach, but I feel like he is the play caller. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I assume that they're gonna have something up their sleeve for it.
Yeah.
Derek Nix.
Hmm. Let's see. Let's go to Fletcher Proctor. Um, Fletcher says, "Man, Oscar Delp looked fast on that catch against Kentucky. Bobo might have yet another end around weapon if Bell and Branch get tired. Let's run it down Auburn's throats all night and whip the dog crap out of them. Dogs by 17." Remember the whole like we beat the dog crap out of them? Was
Yeah,
that
we
was
beat
back
the
in
dog crap out of
that
him.
was back in what 17 or whatever. Yeah, it would be great to return the favor on that. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that in the Kentucky review. Like Delp really turned on the Jets against Kentucky. I want to see more of that. I don't know where that's been. Yeah, could we see an end around to Oscar Delp like we used to see to Brock Bowers?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could.
You never know. Let's see. We can go to Herman Wood. No relation, as far as we know. We haven't put it all together yet this season. What area do we grow up in this week? What area trips us up?
Um, I think that I continue to be worried about the consistency of the offensive line.
Yeah, yeah.
I also have had less and less confidence with every growing week of the on the defensive side of things with our lack of getting pressure. So again, we're in a show me situation with both lines.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
Like I will for the rest of the season, it is show me, show me, show me because I haven't seen it consistently enough.
Yeah. Man, I if Ernest Green can play this week, I think that will help. Although now we're just gonna miss Monroe Freeling too. So was gonna kind of go there, but it's tough, man. It is tough there right now with all the injuries, plus youth that we've got on the offensive line. It's been tough.
I will say the grow up situation, maybe there's a grow up opportunity for the coaches to put our players in positions that their skill sets are attuned for. Like I know that in some of the text threads that you and I are on, there's conversations about just putting our guys, letting our guys do man coverage versus zone.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
if you have a tendency to be successful at one thing, let's maybe try to stick to it. The grow up opportunity on the defensive backs. We talk a lot about the consistency on the offensive line, but the opportunity for grow up on the defensive backs is, you know, if you're going to be lined up in press coverage, put your hands on them before they, as they break off the line, so that you can, slow the play down and, you know, move them off their spot.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. Let's see. Let's go to all school. He asks, "Can Auburn's quarterback sit back in the pocket and try to pick us apart? Is their offensive line good enough to allow that? Can we get enough of a rush to make their quarterback uncomfortable?" That's where I think this is going to be an interesting one, right? Because we talked about how many sacks they have given up. They've given up a lot. Um, I think he likes to use his legs, so I'll say that. So I don't know. He's not so much a like sit there in the pocket kind of guy, and I feel like he kind of hasn't really been able to a ton this season, anyways. So I think we need to make sure that he isn't by getting pressure. Honestly, I mean, if he's just sitting back there waiting, like we saw with Alabama, like that's a problem. So we've got to generate a pass rush in this game. I feel like
Yeah, on the flip side, he's not Ty Simpson.
exactly. Yeah.
He's not exactly gonna be picking us apart the way that Ty Simpson was. So, frankly, like I think there's been some conversations amongst some of the podcasts and pundits that I've listened to that if Ty Simpson had a last name of Manning,
Mm,
I think that the Heisman situation might be in his favor. But um,
yeah.
that's a conversation for another day. But I would say that yeah, we are starting to notice that there are some players that are starting to blossom. Um, in terms of grow up. I think that there's definitely some players that are historic starters that are more than worthy of being asked questions on whether or not they should retain those starting roles. Um, I've seen Davin Bellamy and others kind of analyze some of the video, and
Mm,
I think that there's definitely an ample opportunity for some guys that have been disruptive in the game film that you haven't really seen on the scorecard kind of thing, to get more playing time. I'd be on the lookout for Chris Jones. Seems like whenever he gets on the field, he's causing problems in the backfield. And I think that DeMello Jones and I can't remember what Kelly's first name is, but um, we've got some kids that are starting to try to separate themselves from the tried and true starters to try to, potentially put some guys on the bench for a little bit. Those guys have had some success, and I'd like to see some of that aggressiveness. At this point, it's like you start looking at the resume of everybody involved in their games. Like we got some guys that are getting low PFF grades that were preseason All-Americans, and it's
mm,
time to start asking some questions of some of those guys of like, do they deserve this time? And it's kind of like Kirby, like we said, I want to see the fire, passion, and energy. And if we have guys that are showing him exactly what he's looking for. He wants football players. He wants guys that want to get after it. I'm seeing that from some players, and I'm not seeing it from some players. And I think that it's time to make some tough decisions, even if they maybe go against some NIL agreements that we've got.
yeah. 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 Okay. Uh, let's see. Let's go to Evan Grimes at Fear the G on Twitter. Who needs to have a bigger game for us to win? The defense or the offense? I kind of feel like I need to see a bigger improvement out of the defense, I guess, if that makes sense, than improvement in the offense. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, the offense has put up 40 points this year, and the
Yeah.
defense has, I mean, outside of shutting out Alabama in the second half, which woohoo,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
I would love to see us just have an absolute like impose our will defense.
Mm, mm. Yeah. Yeah, and also too, just like being there, um, like you talked about the fast start earlier, right? And we talked about like that being there on offense and defense, like getting the crowd out of it, early would be great. Um, and if they're out there making big plays on offense, their crowd's gonna start going nuts. So, um, I guess I would say the defense there.
Yeah, that would be my answer as well.
Okay, let's see. I think we talked about all of these, but Fresh IRC podcast wanted to make sure we talked about pass rush, secondary, and offensive line health. I think we've hit all of those. Let's see. Andy Coleman at Rain T Dog on Twitter. Um, he says, I think it's time to start analyzing if there's a possibility that we have a great linebackers coach who isn't such a great coordinator on the defensive side of the ball. The quarterbacks are sitting back with 5 seconds to throw, and that's going to be a problem against all good teams. I mean, yeah, uh, I think it's fair to question that as well.
I would tend to agree. I think it's yeah. If you've got 5 seconds to throw the ball, anybody can become Peyton Manning or insert whatever quarterback you feel is a great quarterback. Um, you can look like you too, Jim, can look like Tom Brady if you had 5 seconds to throw the ball.
Right, right. I think it's interesting because like people used to say like with Kirby at Alabama, like, oh, it's Saban's defense. Kirby's just running it or whatever. And so I think people have kind of tended to say that at Georgia. Um, I don't know. I guess here's the only thing I'll say. I think there's a couple of things going on. So one, like, yes, we've gone from Tucker to Lanning, to now Schumann, and so like you could question that and some of the drop off. The other thing is that college football is changing so much, and like we don't. And let's face it, like I know we talked about that this is like the most talented roster, et cetera, but it also is very young. So with those other guys, we were playing like the juniors and seniors. And now we've got a lot of sophomores that are playing on this team. We got a lot of young guys. So I think the experience and the depth just isn't there in college football anymore with people transferring and leaving. So it's not exactly like apples to apples comparing to prior regimes. So I think part of it is learning to live in this new world, in this new era of college football. So I think it's harder to do this stuff. And so I think you talked about earlier, the coaches growing up, I think they're still having to learn how to deal with this.
Yeah, I'd say that I don't know that there's a like Jim what is the most suffocating defense out there?
Like in college
Like
football right now.
is there an elite defense in
Right.
college football?
Right.
I mean, based on total yards to date, I mean, you're looking at Missouri, but then you have to look at some of the schedule imbalance that we have in 2025 as well. So some of these teams that are putting up some of these great stats haven't really played a whole lot of folks. You look at, the Oklahomas of the world, the Ohio States of the world, like they've still got a lot left on their schedule too. So like um uh, typically those typically those statistical categories have been filled with SEC teams.
Yeah.
And I mean, shoot, Texas's total defense is number nine,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is kind of wild to me. Um,
Yeah.
so
Looking at points a game, it's Ohio State. But
yeah. Yeah, I'm looking more so from like a yardage standpoint. Like what's the total yards, the opponent's yards per game.
yeah. Yeah. Got it.
So I don't know. I think that
Yeah.
I just think it's a different game. It's a different game. The talent is more widely dispersed, and like you said, they're a lot younger. So I don't know that we're ever going to see a defense quite like the some of those defenses that some of those coaches were able to work with.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
not very often that you see, I mean, even in the old world, it wasn't very often that you saw the Eagles defense playing on in college football.
Right. True. True. Um, all right, let's go to friend of the show, Tim Riley. Uh, Kirby best find that FPE. Do you think Gunner has a do you think Gunner has a Tennessee or Alabama performance? And can we just use English and call it Jordan, like the player, Hair Stadium, instead of Jordan? Just saying. Let's
Yeah.
see. 2002 trip to the plains was incredible. as mentioned, Tim and my wife were on TV at the same time. Let's get out of there with the W. So I guess back to the Gunner. What do you think about for Gunner here on the road
Well, hang on. I want to go
at
back
Jordan
to
here to
Kirby.
Tim's?
I want to go back to the Kirby needs
Oh,
to
Curry
find the
needs to find the
FPE.
firefighter. Okay, okay, yeah,
Yeah. I'd like to see that carry over. We saw some fire, passion, and energy from Kirby Polesmart. Like
true.
we saw that. I'd like to see that continue. Bring back the Kirby Rage Stroke, please, for everyone's sake.
True. I
Um,
have to inform the people that you said like you're convinced that's the cure for what ails our defense is the Kirby Ridge truck.
yeah, we need more screaming and yelling for sure. Yeah. Um, I think that Gunner will have a Kentucky performance
Mm,
if we can allow, like we talked about this in the previous episodes. Like it looked like that he felt more comfortable in what he was doing.
yeah,
And I have a feeling, this is just a theory, it feels as though he's been given different directive during the Kentucky game to where he can they're giving him a little bit more freedom to kind of riff, I guess, if you will.
yeah,
So it feels like in the past of some of these games that we've played, they've kind of put some handcuffs on him, which kind of messes with his head. And I feel like that for some guys, they just need to be able to create in order to excel. So I'd like to see him have more of a Kentucky performance minus the turnovers.
yeah.
Um, Yeah. As far as the using English, let's just troll them and just say it the wrong way. Like it's Jordan Hare Stadium.
Okay, done. Yeah. Uh, all right, let's see. Let's go to the hug dog.
Hugs.
All right, Jason opens. Thrilled to get to see Jim, Lou, and Ponda again this week. Ah, that was awesome, he says. It was. Agreed. Always a good time when we get to see the Huggins family. Um, what magic will Auburn pull out of the hat Saturday? They tend to do that versus Georgia. I can't decide if we have a defensive scheme problem or just too much youth on defense. What say you? Go Dogs. I guess that's kind of what we were talking through. Like I agree. I'm not sure either. I think I think we have to factor in the youth. I think if you just ignored the youth, I don't think you're looking at the big picture, the full picture. Um, so I don't know. It feels different, but it could be the coaches aren't comfortable with the youth that they have, and so they're doing things. They're doing what they feel the players can do, and may not be some of the things that we've done in the past.
So there's a couple of things that I'll be on the lookout for as far as like that magic hat.
Okay.
Um, I said earlier this season in the Alabama game that one of the play that they used to ice the game
Hmm.
was a complete bust on our side of things. Like they had him wide open, they had the tight end down the field. I have a feeling that we will see something like that to where they've got some motion and tendencies to try to like they'll lull us to sleep with a particular play, and it'll be poking and prodding to see our tendency on how we do things, and he'll try to exploit that later in the game. So I'd be on the lookout for like a second half uh, play. This is where I miss Gary Danielson because I feel like that he is one of the best at highlighting stuff like that, and I feel like that we do not get that with literally anyone that's in these games anymore.
Yeah.
Where he would be like, they ran this play, you're
Hmm.
gonna see it here, and he just goes and you can just hear him saying it. He busts it free. That's a real tendency there. That's a good play call.
Well,
Whatever.
and he'd be like, "I saw this in practice," or
I
like,
saw this in
they
practice.
told me
Yeah.
this was going to happen.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
uh,
The other thing that I could see is that because Q being an offensive guy, spread guy or whatever. I don't know that they're technically the spread, but like he likes to do things offensively. He does the offensive things, as Kirby would say, or as Tony would say, go do that offensive. Um, sorry, Carter.
It's all good.
Um, but look for him to try to exploit some matchups. Like maybe you have different personnel groupings and things like that, where you try to scheme a linebacker on a mismatch, and we end up having a busted play because our linebackers have not been so great at coverage. So I would look for something like that as well.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. We got one more. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Trying to put glasses on it. 1980, woo, brother.
It's time for coaches over unders, Auburn edition. Gotta say, trying to put glasses on it hits a little bit different Auburn week in
Mm,
that theme music. Okay, so separation Saturday did not separate us; it brought us back together. We are now tied in over unders. However, we're gonna do like golf, John. So I will say you still have honors because you were in the lead last week.
I
So we're
still
gonna
have
let you.
honors.
So you have honors. So do you wish to? Do you want to take the ball or do you want to defer?
Let's see. What do we got here? Uh, I'll let you go first.
Okay, so we're going to start out with the offense. Gunner Stockton over under 225 passing yards. I'm going to take the over.
All right, you got the over. I'm gonna go under.
Okay. Um, Next up, Chauncey Bowens over under 75 rush yards.
I've got the under on that one, Jim.
Okay. I'm going to agree. I think committee we will rush well, but I think he'll be under 75.
Okay.
Okay. And then players with a rush attempt over under 5.5. Let me see here. Hold on. I didn't do the counting before. Hmm. Five feels like the right. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna go over.
I've got the over on that as well.
Okay. I forgot to factor in the unofficial official getting an end around or jet sweep, and that's what took me to the over. Okay. Um. So let's see. Over to you as we transition to the defense. First up, over under 45 rush yards for Auburn quarterback Jackson Arnold.
That's on to me.
Yes.
I'm gonna take the under on that, Jim.
Okay. I'm gonna do the same. Then over under sacks at 2.5. I'm I'm still gonna say they gotta
Show me.
before I do that, so I'm gonna take the under.
I'm gonna take the over, Jim.
Ooh, I like it. Um, and then to you, over under 9.5 first half points for Auburn.
I'm gonna go under.
Okay. Um, I guess I'm gonna stick with you there and say under.
Strategery.
Strategy. Okay, so over to special teams and then to me. Over under 1.5 Peyton Woodring field goal attempts. I'm gonna go under.
Okay. I've got the over on that one, Jim.
Okay, and then we will round it out, starting with you on coach, which is uh, miscellaneous, and this goes along well with Hasty's Harvard history. Over under 0.5 natties claimed by Auburn before kickoff.
Over on that
Over.
one.
All right, just to make sure that we don't have any shenanigans over a miscellaneous, I'm gonna say over.
Shenanigans.
Amazing. Coach, thank you as always for sending those over.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay, so prediction time for the game.
Mm.
So Georgia is a 3.5 point favorite on the road at Auburn, according to OddsShark. Over under 46.5. That gives you an implied score of Georgia 25 to Auburn 21.5. The OddsShark predicted score is wild. Georgia, they've got Georgia 45.8 to Auburn 16.4. Oh my gosh, I hope they are right.
Dear
Um,
Lord, sweet baby Jesus.
Holy moly. Yeah, I don't see anything like that anywhere else. Um, let's see, Parker Fleming, his CFB graphs model has Georgia 24.77 to Auburn 21.59. And then our scoring impact has Georgia 25.3 to Auburn 19.27. Um, yeah, I've had a hard time thinking about this one. Um, like I said earlier, I think they're pretty good. I think they're their opening to their SEC schedule did them no favors, having to go to Oklahoma, having to go to Texas A&M. They're coming off a bye week, SEC home opener, retiring Cam's jersey, all that stuff. The Auburn Voodoo. I've got the dogs coming out on top, but in a tight one. I got the dogs 24-21.
24-21. Okay. I think you're in the arena. I am a little bit more, a little slightly different. I've got Georgia 27-20.
Okay. Okay.
And I will say that if this game busts out, first to 30 wins.
Okay. Okay. I mean, we talked about the turnovers earlier. That this one, I mean, got to protect the ball in this game. Got
Yeah.
protect the ball, win the
I,
game, kind of thing.
I did look at this, Jim, and I mentioned that Georgia's record since 2010,
Mm-hmm.
for what it's worth, the average margin at when we were away at Georgia, when Georgia plays at Auburn,
Mm-hmm.
um, the score since 2010 averages out to be Georgia 24, Auburn 20.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Buckle up for a Saturday night on the plains.
I mean, this reminds me of like the old, I mean, there's a reason why the rivalry is,
Oh yeah.
fairly close, fairly close. I
Yeah.
used to always talk about like going to South Carolina early in the season as well. It's like, generally speaking, when we play these guys, it's pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah. Been playing these guys a long time. With all the things that I complain about, old man, I am happy that we don't skip this game next year. I am pleased that we get to continue this rivalry and play them every year. So we've at least got that
Yeah.
going for us.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, but yeah, I think it's gonna be close. I think that we're still gonna take it though.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, let's look at some games around the SEC with coaches pick'em games. Let's see. He's got us starting off with Florida at Texas A&M. Texas A&M is favored by 8.5 points. This is a night game, 7 p.m. on ESPN. I'm gonna go with A&M as the home team here.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I've got A&M in that one.
Okay. Um,
Give me the
okay.
Colts.
Yeah. Um, okay. So next one, I find this one quite interesting. Number 8, Alabama, 3.5 point favorite at number 14, Missouri at noon. So this is a noon game on ABC, um, which is
Oh,
interesting to me.
very
I
interesting.
In an off-season text message, I texted you and John and Hunter and said that the winner of the South Carolina Missouri game would be a dark horse in the SEC, and Missouri won that game. Um, I don't know, man. They've looked really good. They've got the Penn State transfer quarterback that I think people were kind of saying was like, maybe Penn State should have kept him. Um, at Missouri, it's
Hey
at
man, transfer
Missouri.
quarterbacks.
I know it's at Missouri. But like, can they get over that hump? Uh, I don't know. I don't know that they can. I'm gonna take Bama here.
I got Missouri in that one, Jim.
Delicious.
That's a trap game, bro. That's the
Okay.
definition of a trap game.
I like it.
Do we have has Josh sent out his prediction situation?
Mm, no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. Be curious to see that.
Let's see. The next up, you got number six Oklahoma against Texas, 3:30 on ABC. The Red River Shootout. Texas, unranked Texas, by the way, favored by 2.5. I find that super interesting. Um, I don't know if that's just like a Oklahoma doesn't have their quarterback kind of thing. Um, I'm going to go with Oklahoma though. I think they've looked pretty good.
I've got Oklahoma in that game. I don't trust Texas to. I trust Texas about as far as I can throw them at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know whose seat's going to be hotter at the end of the season, Steve Sarkisian or Billy Napier.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a fair question.
I mean, considering how much money Texas has thrown around, bruh.
I mean, that's like it's isn't it like the fastest the school's ever gone from number one to unranked, like ever, like from preseason number one to unranked.
No, man, it's definitely something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. Let's see. South Carolina at number 11 LSU. LSU's favored by 9.5. 7:45 p.m. kick on
Mm.
SEC Network. I'm gonna take LSU at home at night. Sorry, Chuck. If this was at South Carolina, I would think about it differently. Man, South Carolina probably should have beat them last year, but I think it's gonna be a little bit too much for them on the road.
To quote to quote Shane Beamer, it's dang near impossible to simulate 100,000 drunk Cajun Louisianans.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, give me LSU at night. That
Okay.
doesn't bode well for pretty much anyone that goes into that stadium.
Right. Right. Um, Last one coach has is Arkansas heads to Tennessee. Number 12 Tennessee. Tennessee is favored by 12.5. 4:15 p.m. kick on SEC Network. I guess the debut for interim Bobby Petrino
Hmm.
in Arkansas, or was he, or did they already have a game with him last week? I don't know. I've lost count. Um, I'm gonna go Tennessee on this one. Can Bobby Petrino do some magic in Knoxville?
That's actually a good question. Give me Tennessee in this game, but that is definitely an interesting wrinkle that I had not considered when I was putting this together.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we're pretty in line there. I'm just looking back at it. I guess the only thing we'll be locked in on Bama, Missouri at noon. See how that one goes. That'll be the difference maker for between us.
How about the retread coaches that are in the SEC right now? You got Lane Kiffin, who used to coach at Tennessee.
Yeah,
You got Bobby Petrino, who used to coach at Arkansas.
Arkansas.
You've got who
Hugh
else?
Freeze. Hugh Freeze
Hugh Freeze,
used to be
that's
Ole
what I was
Miss.
looking for. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Anybody else? Anybody else that we're missing there? Um, yeah. I think that that's kind of funny that we've got
yeah, yeah,
coaches that had coached at other schools in the SEC. So it just goes to show you, like, fire your coach. Good luck. Who
yeah. I know. I
are you going
know.
to replace him with?
Right, right. Exactly. Ugh. Um. I don't know what I'm trying to think what we have going on this weekend. I think we're gonna probably do some bean dip, and the question will be, do we watch on the back porch or inside? With it being the night game. Yeah. I'm gonna my prediction will is that Lily and I finish the game outside. Kim goes inside because she gets cold. Uh, and that worked for Tennessee, so that's okay.
Nice. You get that girl a blanket and a heater or something.
Ooh, we've got a
Oh,
fire. We've got the.
an electric blanket. That's what you need.
We actually have an electric blanket. That's a good idea to take that out there, for
Bruh.
her.
Bruh.
Yeah, yeah. We got a fireplace out there. We have the blankets.
It's a great setup, especially when Jim brings the quad TV out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll definitely have that going Saturday. It is a good setup. I'm pretty proud of it.
So jealous.
Cool.
I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll be watching at some point. I probably will end up taking the TV outside, if the weather holds. I haven't looked at the weather here, but yeah, nothing crazy here.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting that time of year, man. We're starting to feel actually like fall. So,
Yeah, it's fire pit season.
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, cool, man.
Cool. Well, it's good catching up. Got a road game and got a lot going on, both of us, I know. So
Yeah.
we'll catch you on the flip side and go dogs.
Go dogs.